Alright, welcome to part 3. This is for the channel block. Now you're going to start out with 4 slats, kind of like what you see here. Now these slats, they need to be 1 3/8 inch wide, and then 5 1/4 inch long, or whatever distance your square dowels are. You'll notice later when I hold these slats up against the dowels that the slat is much wider than the dowel. Yeah, right now you're going to want to put a line at 3 3/4 inch away from the handle. Yeah, I notice I keep saying inch instead of inches. Anyway, you see I got those lines there? They're 3 3/4 inches away from the handle. And notice my slat is a little longer than it should be. Then you would just hold it up here and then make a line and then cut it. Cut it to the appropriate width. Alright, now once your slat is cut to the appropriate width, go ahead and make a center line. You're going to have to just divide that sucker up in 2. Now we're going to glue the slat to the square dowels. Using wood glue, which is recommended. I think it has a stronger long-term strength than the super glue. And you'll want to clamp this down once you get it lined up and set in place. And let it dry. God, let it dry. Clean up that excess glue too. That doesn't look good. Alright, we're clamping it in place. And that one sort of came out of alignment. I'm going to clamp lightly, then realign it, and let it set. Yeah, see that extra glue? We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to use this pencil here and just kind of wipe that away. Wipe that on the carpet or something. I grabbed a little measuring stick from earlier. Look how clean that is. That's nice. So nice. Alright. Now I'm marking the area where I'm going to be putting little toothpick dowels in. Just want to kind of get an idea of where I can put them. 3 dots. And 3. And I'm going to be drilling those out. Alright, now I moved on to the super glue. Definitely want to use super glue on all these little dowels. Let's put a little drop in every one of those holes we just drilled. Go ahead and stab a toothpick down in there. It should fit snug. Nice clean operation. You want to run a tight ship. Alright, now we don't want to leave it like that, so we're going to clip those off. Now we got those little nubs there. Let's go ahead and file those down. You generally want to file with the grain, but I tend to go against the grain. Always have, my whole life. Against the grain. It's a poor choice. Yeah, look at that. Against the grain. Living by my own rules. Sand it nice and smooth. Look at that. That's nice. Alright, now get your sheets. There should be a link below to download those sheets. PDF file. You just go to print them out. And grab another one of your slats. Now cut that little shape out of the template there. And then using your center line, align that with the center line on the template. Well, that looks good. Now if you press there on that line right on the corner, you get a nice crease. If anything, it'll start you out. Now, something occurred to me as I was making this tutorial is that you really only need that center piece. We're wasting a lot of time going through this and cutting out the outer edges here like I just did. I mean, once you get that center piece there with that center line on it firmly in place, I mean, you can really just tear off the rest of it. But nope, you're going to have to watch me tape it all up, trace all the lines, make the lines look nice for nothing. Now I get frustrated just watching this. Oh, it just drags on and on. And for some reason I don't remove it. Alright, definitely want to cut off some little strips of tape. That piece is too big. I'm going to tear it in half later. Got about six or seven strips. Tear them all in half. Maybe 4, tear them in half. I don't know. Like really, that part that I'm taping down right there, that is all that needs to be on there. You could seriously just tear the rest off. But no, here we go. Let's watch me tape it all up. Oh, I taped that thing so hard. Me fussing with that thing. They're ridiculous. It's pointless. There's no reason. Shouldn't even be there. I should probably remove this part, but I'm not going to. Made me struggle. All right, yeah, it's on there now. Great. Now we're gonna trace it. This part is pointless. This one a little less pointless. This one's important. That one is also important. My roommate Jim, he's important. Yeah, I'm recording. That one is not important. And we tear it all off. That's right, take it all off. Now I'm gonna pointlessly clean up the lines. I guess the reason I don't take this out of the video is I don't want to confuse anybody with them seeing lines on that later on, wondering, where did these lines come from? Well, now you know where they came. Now you take your other stencil and you're going to cut out the little squares right there on the dashed lines. Cut out a bunch of little squares and rectangles. Be careful. Don't cut yourself. Alright, wrapping things up. Set them up in a nice orderly fashion. What comes after 2? 3. 3 comes after 2. No, not 5. 4. 4, then 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, take another slat. Put that first rectangle on there. Make sure it's lined up perfectly. And draw a line. Make it a nice line. And then you're going to cut that piece off. Look at that. Cut it right off. And you're going to do it with number 2. Yeah, you don't have to label it. It's kind of obvious which piece is which. Alright, we're going to do that with number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Cut that piece off. There, they're all cut off. They're all messy and frayed around the edges, though. I need to clean that up. Now clean it up with your bastard file. Get all of them, both hands. Alright, now grab the other sheet there, cut out those little stencil templates. Take great care on these. These are kind of important. They're a little more important than the previous squares. You know what? It's all important. Because we're doing it. I'm doing it, and hopefully you're doing it. We take great pride in our work. And just kind of go through the list. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. We're going to lay that one on top of there, and then we're just going to trace around it. And I like to scribble on the part that I'm going to throw away. And I'll label it number 1 for no reason, because it's obvious where it goes. And the same thing with number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Clean up the lines a bit, scribble on the throwaway parts if you want. I like to do that. I get confused. Alright, now grab your coping saw, or whatever kind of saw this is, and start cutting. Careful not to cut your fingers. I tend to cut my fingers a lot when I'm working on projects. It's like I sign them with my blood. Every project I have has some of my DNA on it. Yeah, look how fat my neck is. Jesus. Fat neck. Ugh. Who wants to go on a date with fat neck? Alright, now you got that piece cut out. Go ahead and clean it up with the file. The inside radius is a little tricky to get to with the file. Helps if you have a rounded file, which I do, but I couldn't find it. Alright. I'm just kind of laying them out to show you what they look like when they're all sitting on there. There's really no point in doing this. Maybe I'm just seeing how concentric my my curves are. And apparently they're not very. Alright, we're going to glue on that first piece. Use wood glue. I don't know, I feel like we need more strength. Got this weird glue prejudice. I don't know what that's all about. Get on there best you can, centered, whatever. It's not like super important that it's perfect, but do your best. Alright, glued, and of course the clamps. Definitely wait for it to dry. I get a little impatient and I don't wait for things to dry, and it causes problems. Problems that could have been avoided. Okay, assuming that the glue is dry, I'm going to go ahead and mark the toothpick dowel holes again. And drill them out. Isn't that crazy? This is what I'm doing with my free time. I'm making a tutorial to show people how to make monster hands. I'm sitting here by myself, talking to the computer. God, I'm lonely. Okay, so dab some glue in there. Dab, 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 whatever. By the way, this is a third take I've done on this. I've sat through this thing for like going on an hour and a half just doing the voiceover part. You know, tutorials are not what I expected. They really draw out the process. All right, put your little toothpicks in there. Clip them little suckers off. Notice how the toothpick doesn't stick to the clippers like it did before with the wood glue. That's so nice. Nobody likes a mess. All right, file it down with the grain. It's a pretty coarse file. It makes quick work out of that soft wood. All right, piece one down. Let's go ahead and put another one on. And this is why you did not need the entire template. Because the alignment is totally up to the diameter of that copper tubing. So to make sure it's pretty uniform, you know, like so you can run a strip of tubing down that little channel that we're creating. You know, once it's positioned pretty well, you're gonna clamp it down. Don't clamp it too tight, because the wood tends to shift when you clamp it. Clamp it. Jed, clamp it. Anyway, not too tight. That way you can wedge that copper tube in there. Verify your spacing. Once you're satisfied, you can clamp it down a little tighter. Let it dry. God, please, let it dry. I'm not letting it dry. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. You can do that too if you want. As I've got all that extra glue there on that first piece I put on, or second piece I put on, you want to get rid of that. Alright, aligned, clamped, verify with a copper tube. And once verified, just let it sit and dry. Alright, looks like it's dry. Now we're going to mark our stupid little toothpick holes and drill and file. We're getting there. Almost done with this video. Well, not almost done, but closer to than when we started. That's good, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Super glue. I like crazy glue. I'm crazy for crazy glue. I don't like that generic stuff. It just doesn't seem to do the job. Stab your toothpick in. I don't know, I like the dowels. It kind of looks like little wooden rivets. Little smooth rivets. Makes it look like it took time, you know? clipping. Alright, now it's time to file. I guess you don't have to file them every time you do them. I don't know, it's just something I did. You could wait till the whole thing is done and then file it. You know, if you're not a fan of filing. I guess I like filing. I find it therapeutic, filing. Right, moving on to the next piece. Now this is I hate these pieces. Because they didn't fit right. Yours may fit right. They probably do fit right, but mine did not. Look at that. Look at that. But now, I've got to clean that up. File it down a little bit. Try it again. Still doesn't work. File it again. Try it again. I mean, that file just like chews right through that wood. I mean, it's like no big deal. I'm just kind of complaining. Jeez, when I started this, I had no idea this specific segment was going to be a half hour long. The first two were like so short. The second one, well, the one after this looks like it's going to be pretty short. And I think there's only, what, 6 or 7 tutorials. Yeah, 7 looks like. Hear me shuffling my papers. That's how you look busy. Shuffle papers. Alright, yeah, clean up that extra glue there. Glued that piece in place. I used a lot of glue on that one, I noticed. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I had trouble with that one too. But yeah, looks good. We just got to file it down and then... oh wait, yeah, we have to drill the holes. So you're going to drill the holes. I seem to be having problems with this video editor. It's not like importing the last like 10 seconds of this video. So it'll end before I start filing. I think. I may still be filing, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, so we're gluing and stabbing Q-tips. Stabbing toothpicks in there. Clip them away and then file it down, and that's it. You're done with the channel block. We made it. We did it together, you and I. File it down. Do it until it's smooth. Alright, that's it. See you in the next segment. Reel 4. Bye.